A shattered skyline, China's crumbling buildings. For decades, the world marveled at China's urban explosion, cities sprouting like mushrooms, with cranes piercing the clouds in Shenzhen, Chongqing, and countless other locales. Glass and concrete towers rose as symbols of strength and prosperity, promising a secure future for millions of families. But today, that dream is literally collapsing. Ceilings cave in while residents sleep, walls crack before the paint dries, and brand new buildings stand abandoned before anyone moves in. What went wrong? It's the result of a system that prioritizes speed and profit over safety, where corruption seeps into every corner. The evidence is shocking. In Xingyan Garden, Henan Province, residents filmed deep cracks slicing through walls just 18 months after moving in. A heavy rain caused ceilings to collapse, exposing rusted steel and diluted concrete. This building had passed inspection by local officials, but the truth is that bribes masked every flaw. In Changsha, a new apartment complex was evacuated in panic when residents heard groans from the stairwells. The foundation had shifted, tilting the tower by centimeters. Families fled before unpacking, leaving behind shattered dreams of homeownership. It doesn't stop there. Ghost towers have become symbols of failure. In Hubei, a 22-story government-funded building looks pristine from the outside, but is a wreck within. Stairwells blackened with mold, windows shattered, and construction debris piled high. In Bayanur, Inner Mongolia, a new residential tower developed a massive crack across its facade. Local authorities demolished it quietly at night in 2020, offering no explanation. These tofu-dreg projects are not accidents. They are the product of greed, with developers cutting corners on materials for quick profits and CCP officials turning a blind eye to meet GDP targets. When videos of these disasters spread on Weibo and Douyin, they vanish quickly, a testament to the party's censorship, hiding the rot of a broken system. A pattern of decay, corruption, and greed. Take over. The collapse isn't limited to crumbling concrete. It's a terrifying pattern of decay spreading across China. Towers are built in record time, safety inspections are skipped, and shortcuts are taken at every stage. Developers, often tied to party officials, prioritize profit over people. They dilute concrete, skimp on rebar, and cover flaws with hasty plaster. The result? Buildings that look sturdy but are fragile, ready to collapse at any moment. Three forces drive this disaster. First, profit over people. Real estate was once a gold rush, turning developers into billionaires. They build fast and cheap, sell apartments before breaking ground, and ignore quality once the money is pocketed. Second, corruption at the core. Local governments, under pressure from the CCP to show growth, approve projects in exchange for bribes. A 2022 investigation in Sichuan revealed that nearly a third of new residential buildings never underwent proper structural checks, proof of how bribery poisons the system. Third, a shrinking population and artificial demand. Ghost cities were built before anyone lived in them, now left abandoned as China's population ages and job markets weaken. To show progress, developers cut deeper corners, leading to broken elevators, rusted pipes, and buildings rotting before they're even occupied. The CCP hides these secrets with ruthless censorship. Videos of collapsing walls or tilting balconies spread and disappear within hours. Whistleblowers are arrested for spreading rumors, and officials blame extreme weather or design flaws. But the truth is emerging. These are not accidents, but monuments to a broken system where the concrete crumbles, but the cover-up holds firm. A Job crisis, a lost generation, and widespread unemployment. Turning to the economy, a job crisis is pushing China's youth into despair. Official data reports youth unemployment near 15% in mid-2025, but independent analysts estimate the real figure could be 35 to 46% when including those who've given up searching. Every year, millions of university graduates flood the market, only to face a brutal reality. Jobs are scarce, wages are low, and competition is cutthroat. Consider the shocking story of a female law student. Earning 2,500 yuan a month, she loses 1,800 to social insurance, leaving just 700, about 30 yuan a day. In a viral video, she sobbed, "I spend 12 yuan on the subway daily and still need to eat. How can I survive?" To qualify for a lawyer's license, she must pay insurance, but her salary can't sustain her. The video sparked outrage with comments like, "Law graduates are like workhorses now, earning 2,000 to 3,000 yuan but doing the work of 3 people. The legal field, once called the best humanities major, now has a 50% employment rate. Only 20% pass the civil service exam, mostly for small counties, and few dare become lawyers due to meager earnings in the first 5 years. Unemployment isn't limited to law. In Shenzhen, once a job paradise, vacant storefronts with "for rent" signs line the streets. Big companies lay off workers, small ones shut down. Graduates sell buns under the scorching sun, deliver packages through traffic, or return to hometowns to run street stalls. A master's graduate in transportation lamented, "My dad sold street food to fund my education. Now I'm selling street food with my boyfriend. If I hadn't gone to college, I'd have saved 200,000 yuan." In provinces like Jiangsu and Zhejiang, factories run at half capacity, with workers on unpaid leave or earning 13 yuan an hour, barely enough for a bowl of noodles. The CCP masks the true scale with polished data, but on social media the cries echo, "Too many wolves, too little meat." Young people are lying flat, opting out of the societal rat race, because the dream of stability has shattered. Debt and poverty, a survival crisis for the middle class. Beneath unemployment lies a colossal debt crisis. According to local financial sources, nearly 900 million Chinese carry personal debt in 2025, with 400 million facing severe repayment struggles. Debt from mortgages, tuition loans, credit cards, and peer-to-peer lending piles up, but with shrinking incomes, many borrow more to pay off old loans, trapped in a vicious cycle. The real estate collapse has slashed home values, leaving owners stuck with massive mortgages for devalued properties. Unlike other countries, China's bankruptcy laws offer individuals little chance to start over. Personal stories are heartbreaking. A man in Guangdong wept, "Don't come here. I have no job, no food, and sleep on the streets. I want to go home, but can't afford the ticket." In Guangzhou, viral videos show gaunt men begging for food instead of money, surviving on scraps and public water. In Shanghai and Chengdu, 4-star hotel staff quit to sell street food. The middle class is disintegrating. Graduates sell blood for a few hundred yuan. Workers skip meals to pay debts. A Shanghai restaurant owner confessed, "Revenue is down, credit card payments are up 8-fold, people borrow just to eat. Poverty is spreading, even in rural areas." A 70-year-old vendor sighed, "No one buys anymore." Where did everyone go? High-end restaurants now set up roadside stalls, rippling losses to farmers and suppliers. In 2020, Premier Li Keqiang admitted 600 million people earned less than 1,000 yuan a month, a revelation that shattered the CCP's poverty eradication myth. The party hides this with censorship, but the reality is millions can't afford meals, living under bridges or in train stations. A psychological and social collapse, vanishing trust, and rising discontent. The social toll of this crisis is devastating. Young people feel adrift. Douyin videos show them whispering, "Let it all end," using dark humor to mask their pain. Trust in the system has collapsed. Parents drain savings for their kids' degrees only for them to end up jobless. In Xi'an, families discovered ceilings patched with cardboard. In Chongqing, towers were evacuated for normal subsidence. Residents seek justice, but courts dismiss them, developers vanish, and complaints are ignored. Discontent is spreading. In Shandong, crowds marched to demand refunds. In Guangdong, banners read, "We want homes, not rubble." These are social tremors, but the CCP suppresses them with censorship and arrests. Trust in the government, banks, and media is eroding. Each cracked wall mirrors a crack in the system. With an aging population, delayed marriages, and reverse migration, China's social fabric is unraveling. Political fallout, the CCP's cover-up, and a nation's breaking point. Politically, the CCP is at a breaking point. The party conceals its secrets with iron-fisted censorship, erasing videos, jailing whistleblowers, and proclaiming all is well. But the truth is leaking. Corruption has poisoned construction and the economy. Policy failures have fueled unemployment and debt. The real estate bubble has burst. Banks are drowning in bad loans, and local governments are losing revenue, all threatening the party's grip on power. If trends continue, the consequences could be catastrophic: mass defaults, widespread protests, and social unrest. This isn't a temporary downturn, but a full-blown crisis: economic stagnation, social fractures, and political cover-ups. The CCP can silence voices, but it can't stop the concrete from crumbling or the despair from rising. Can China survive? In the summer of 2025, China is suffocating, not just from heat, but from a crisis of epic proportions. From collapsing buildings to jobless youth, from crushing debt to social discontent, the nation is losing its way. The CCP hides the truth, but it's seeping out day by day. Is this the start of a decline or a turning point? Only time will tell. What do you think about this situation? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'll keep updating you on China's escalating crisis. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for the latest videos. Thanks for watching.
Floods in Guangxi left an entire village without power or water for half a month, while local authorities reportedly turned a blind eye to desperate calls for help. In recent days, Base City in Guangxi has been struck by relentless flooding. Some villages were trapped underwater for more than 2 weeks, completely cut off from electricity and clean water. Online, residents accused officials of ignoring their pleas, forcing villagers to turn to social media in a desperate effort to survive. The situation has sparked nationwide concern. Videos circulating online reveal the harsh reality. Villages in Jingxi, Basi are drowning under what locals call floods that come and never leave. As of October 13th, many areas remained underwater. People are homeless and no one has come to help, one resident said. With no official rescue in sight, locals have begun to help each other. In the footage, residents paddle through flooded streets on makeshift kayaks, while children cross floating bridges built from construction scaffolding just to reach school. Since September 28th, we haven't seen any disaster relief teams, not even a single soldier, a woman in one video said. The water has reached the second floor, and we've had no power or water for more than 10 days. Other videos show entire homes submerged, schools under more than 2 meters of water, and villagers completely stranded. One man recording a plea for help said he feared the video might never be seen. This is Xinjia Primary School in Jingxi, Guangxi. I don't know if the students are safe or if anyone will even notice this message. Please help us. According to Upstream News, the flooding in Base was caused by the combined impact of typhoons Boroi and Matmo. In Xinjia Township, floodwaters have surrounded several villages for over 10 days, cutting off water, electricity, and transportation. At first glance, it looked like a beautiful lake, but it's actually a village underwater, a witness said. On October 16th, the Jingxi city government confirmed that parts of Xinjia Township were indeed still surrounded by floodwaters. Earlier, local media reported that 5 low-lying villages, including Dajia Street, Dajin Village, and Hemin Village, were heavily flooded, with major roads blocked and entire communities isolated. On October 16th, staff from Xinjia Township confirmed that villagers could still move within flooded areas, but electricity had yet to be restored. Officials from the Jingxi municipal government admitted that some villages in Xinjia Township were still underwater, with water levels showing little sign of receding even after 10 days. The prolonged flooding has cut off food, shelter, and transportation, leaving residents in darkness. And even generators in some areas have stopped working. According to First Financial Daily, Between late September and early October, Beizi City was hit by 3 consecutive typhoons, Huajiasha, Boroi, and Matmo. The relentless wind and rain triggered surging rivers and devastating floods across both urban and rural areas. Dajin Village in Xinjia Township, home to more than 100 families, has been surrounded by water for nearly 2 weeks. Since September 30th, the entire village has been slowly cut off from the outside world. This is not the first time Guangxi has faced such a crisis. In 2024, several villages were trapped under floodwaters for months, with homes remaining submerged long after the rain stopped. On social media, Chinese netizens expressed frustration. The water has turned blue, it's not draining, like muddy water trapped in a tank. Another wrote, the floodwaters have turned green, meaning the silt has settled and the drainage system is blocked. One user commented, local residents have been begging for rescue, but no one has responded. Others added bitterly, the authorities act like decorations, completely indifferent to the suffering of the people. Severe floods are sweeping across many regions of China, leaving a trail of devastation. From Guangxi to Guizhou, and from Hunan to Fujian, torrential rains have submerged towns, destroyed roads, and cut off electricity for thousands of households. In Beizi, Guangxi, entire villages have been underwater for more than 2 weeks, with residents surviving without clean water or power. Hunan province has seen swollen rivers overflow into farmlands, wiping out crops right before harvest season. Meanwhile, Guizhou and Fujian have reported multiple landslides triggered by the unending downpours, forcing mass evacuations. Across social media, videos show submerged highways, stranded buses, and desperate villagers pleading for help as rescue efforts struggle to reach isolated areas. The floods have not only destroyed homes and infrastructure, but also deepened the sense of helplessness among residents. In Jiangxi and Anhui, floodwaters have inundated factories and schools, paralyzing local economies. Emergency shelters are overflowing, with families sleeping on damp floors, uncertain when they can return home. Meteorologists warn that continuous rainfall may persist, threatening to push already swollen rivers beyond their limits. Local governments have been criticized for their slow response, as villagers in some areas say they have seen no rescue teams for days. The scenes of flooded streets and trapped residents have become a painful reminder that China's flood crisis is far from over. And for many, survival now depends on endurance and hope.